Welcome everyone to a Tarkov video, actually my first Tarkov video, and today, as you saw in the title, I'm going to teach you how to make millions of rubles on PvE mode. This is going to be a way to do it on labs, which to some new players, which this is a video for. It might seem a little intimidating, but trust me, if you just follow this route and this plan, you should go along super smoothly, and you should be able to make it out with millions. Now, I will say that there are a couple key cards that you're going to need, actually primarily only one, the rest are optional. I have a black key card, which currently are going for around 5 million full use. Here. Actually 6 million, last I checked it was 5 million, but you don't need a full use one, you can use these, but also this run is optional. You do not need a black key card to make these millions. You only need this key card right here. Residential unit key, Tarkov PvE residential unit key. It is an orange card, just like this. It is fairly inexpensive. And also I'll show you the spawns for it, and it spawns quite commonly. I'm also going in with a pretty decent kit. Usually whenever I do this run, I actually have close to no kit at all, mainly just storage. Just primarily. You see, I only have a pistol. This is all I need. I want more gun slots so I can actually sell guns, like these two right here that I got. So let's go ahead and buy Labs keycard real quick, so we can get into raid. Now this is gonna be a Labs keycard. The new players, this is a Tarkov Labs access card. You absolutely need this to get into labs. There's no way to get into the labs map without it. So if you're going to a raid in which you think is labs and you don't have this, you're not going to be able to access it, whether it's transit or here in the menu. So I'm going to put this in my docs case, and this is only a one-time use, so as soon as I go in, this is going to disappear out of my inventory. Here's the lab. This is my kit, and I'm not going to insure anything. If I die, I'm not even going to get insurance. You do not get insurance on the labs. So I'm going to load it now. We have now loaded into labs, and we're slightly far from where we actually want to be, but this is a good opportunity to get loot, and if you have the gear for it and you're comfortable with it, finding PvP. Bug here, you can sell on the flea or sell to therapist. So for this spawn, you're going to want to run through here, parking garage, or if you can find your way to the parking garage for a different spawn, run through here. Now with my kit that I have, I'm going to avoid PvP. I'm not here to fight, I'm here for loot. And so this run contains, at the bare minimum, several Bitcoin spawns and several loot coins, high value loot spawns. Which will be very nice. That's how you get a lot of your money here. It's just mainly running into really good loot like chibis, bronze lions, anything that's considered rare loot you're gonna find. Run through here to the server room, and basically we're gonna make our way to the black keycard area. We're gonna check this hallway. AI PMCs can spawn in here. They can also just be in general in this area. Also watch out for these orange canisters. If they are shot, they will explode. This hallway is clear. Move in here. This is a black keycard. This keycard is completely optional. If you don't have it, you don't need to run it. This is not essential to getting lots of money, but it's also a very good way because it's super close to where we actually want to be. And the main thing that's spawned here are stims, and there's also several LEDX spawns. LEDXs are used for barter items, and it's also used to upgrade your hideout, and they sell for roughly around like 1.6 to 1.8 million. So it's a very good find. Go ahead and collect all of our stims here. Actually, look at that right there is a LEDX. So we'll go ahead and get that once we get around to it. Also, we got an O-scope, which can also be a very common spawn in black. Take this from my hideouts. Remove all these stims into my injector's case. And 2 LEDXs is a little wild. That's actually a very good spawn. And really good luck, but as you can see, this key card is really worth grabbing. Now, I will say getting two lead exits like that is extremely rare. It's not a very common thing, but as you can see, it did happen. It's not impossible. But yeah, this key card is, in my opinion, the best. It's usually not the most expensive one, even though it is insanely good. But I'll finish grabbing up all our stims here, fill our injector's case to the brim, and that'll be all the injectors. So you can see here. Now, even if I were to die right now, I'm still going to walk away with at least roughly 2 million. Actually, quite more than that. Now, after leaving black, this is the hall you want to run down. So using medical tents. I'm going to run through here. Check this hallway. No PMCs. This is a medical room that can spawn meds and stuff. I personally don't loot it. I don't find the loot and time like worth it, but we're gonna run here. This is where blue key card is. This can also be a key room that you might want to hit. It also has Ledex spawns and also just, you know, stim spawns, just and also more general like AFAX, IFAX, Alewa, stuff like that. So here we're gonna look at this table right here. Green key card can actually spawn here around this desk right here, in which it didn't. But stims, other medical items, especially on this shelf right here. This we're going to want to keep moving down after looting that. Check our hallways. And right here is actually where we want to be. You have a body here and there's a weapon box behind you that can spawn. See here, this guy usually has weapon parts and stuff related to weapons. And here is a weapon box that doesn't spawn all the time, but it can. Mags, stuff like that. Personally, I'm not following this. I really don't need it. Actually, this is quite a good find. Fish it. That's good. But mainly what you want to do in here is this is the armory. This armory has some fairly good gun spawns. You can see here. I'm going to bring some just in case I run into some DMCs. This can spawn some fairly good guns. 300 Blackout, MCX Spears, a lot of 5.56 weapons. And down below it is an ammo rack that can spawn some of the best ammo in the game, which is very nice. As this AP here is 5.56. This is going to be your best penning 5.56 ammo. And this hybrid here is for the MCX Spear, and this is going to be your best ammo for that gun. Keep on going through here. There's a hybrid again, and then also ammo is mainly for pistols and stuff like that, but it can spawn 7.62 ammos and just a lot of those high valued ammos that you like. There we got duffel bag and computer. The computer will always spawn. The duffel bag does not always spawn. And then lastly, right here can spawn in slims and diaries. Slim diaries and diaries spawn right here. And then make sure you're checking this trash can right here because it can spawn bitcoins and gold chains. Most commonly, I found really nothing in it, but I have seen gold chains. I have not seen a bitcoin, but I know it can spawn. And then we're going to go over here, check this civilian body, because this can have quite some good spawns in it, as you can see. And then when you're done, you want to go into this room right here, and turn on the power. This isn't essential for actually looting this room, which is our residential, but it just gives you light, and it also opens the area over there. A residential keycard can spawn right here on this chair, just so you know. And we're going to go open up residential. Now this is where you're going to get mainly all your money, because they can spawn really good stuff. We got a badge, we got a GP, which currently in PvE is not actually useful, so we're going to skip over that. Now this can spawn intelligence and blue folders. This top rack can spawn vertices, bitcoins, stuff like that. We're going to move on to this desk right here. This can also spawn things of that nature, vertices, GP, bitcoin, etc. Over here we got a clock and an egg. This whole bed here can spawn like high value loot. Same thing with this desk. As you see, we got a bitcoin. And our doxies. Now under the bed can spawn weapons. It doesn't spawn all the time, but most of the time you're going to find a weapon under this bed. I've seen things, it's mainly just stuff that's in the armory, MCX Spears, MK17s, HK416, stuff like that. Basically checking it good too for a duffel bag. Next up, so this desk here has a spawn right here for something, and over here, and also occasionally right here. these can all spawn high tier loot. Double bag, this can also spawn under the desk here. And then here we got this bed, which there's a spawn right there where the golden egg is. Then right where that vertex is also another spawn. We'll go ahead and collect these now. Then also a double bag, also common spawn here. Look at that. More miners. Make sure under the bed here can spawn eggs, vertices, and bitcoins. I don't usually find them there, but it is a possible spawn. And this chair right here in the middle, with that little where it kind of all meets there, can spawn loot too. Check out the back here, which doesn't always spawn, but it also is a common spawn. Let's go for our bunker. And then up here, usually just isn't really anything. And that is this room looted. So I can see it has some really good spawns, and there's Bitcoin spawns literally throughout this entire room. Same thing with chibis, vibe and shoes, bronze lions, stuff like that. This is where you're gonna make most of your money. But also, we're not done yet, because you come here, we open up the power, which will open up this door right here. That leads you into the medical area. Once you're here, you're gonna want to take a right to the offices in here, and this is where you can find a lot of stims. Residential keycard can spawn right in this Terra Group cup right here inside, and make sure you're checking these little stim holders, because stims can spawn there quite often. Just like in here, we have a mule. I can see upwards of 3 stims spawn throughout this little cabinet, and there's also a residential key spawn right here. This tin can also spawn stims too, and there's a duffel bag spawn right here. Now we're going to go into this area, see, following along, first one on your left. This can spawn a whole bunch of medical bags here, down up over there, and I'm pretty sure over there. But over here, we're going to check. We have a lot of medical items, usually stims. You need to find things like bandages, IFACs, AFACs, Salebas, CMSs, survival kits, anything like that. We're going to check throughout all of this, make sure we're still checking these test tube holders for stims. Nothing here on this table. If we go over here, we have a stim. A bag can spawn right here and here. H202. And another residential keycard spawn is right under this little like lamp light thing. Now from over here, you got a toolbox here and a medical case right here that we're gonna go ahead and use. Take this to sell the purpose. Now here, a lot of stems and a lot of other medical items will spawn. Let's see, with some Vaseline, but more importantly, we have our stems. That will all be loved to be sold on the fleet or directly to the therapist. And also, you're going to want to check this little device right here, right on the edge of it. Our residential keycard can spawn right there. And also here on this side, just kind of on the table directly, you can also find a residential keycard. Here, that is done. Go to the next table, and also this table can also spawn a residential keycard. Here we're going to look. Some Calipari, and then we want this over here, another med case. Now along this table, Consolet was obviously here, some ibuprofen, but also stims can spawn along here, just like this. And then the next thing you have are some medical bags, medical case, and right here. Here is that unfortunate, but we can have a duffel bag up here and then a medical case on here. And this will be it for the area here. So this whole main medical area, including residential, is where you're going to be making most of your money. And now to extract, we don't need to go far. Check our hallway for MCs, looks like we're good. You'll want to, once you go out, take this stairway down here, and then go to medical elevator. Check the ground for any stims or other items. Now raiders can actually be down here. Raiders and AI PMCs can be down here. So check for open doors like this. Just gonna take your time clearing out the hallway. I most commonly see them not here. They don't spawn here all too often, but it's still a possibility. If you get to around here and you're not seeing any, they probably have not spawned. So we're gonna move all the way down here. This is gonna be our medical elevator, but we need to turn on the power, which is super close. Oh, and also just to show it, this stairwell up here, if you go up one floor and out that door, you'll be right next to black keycard. Move down here. Here you can find a toolbox and also some construction tools like a sledgehammer and hand drill right there. I'm gonna move through all the way to the end of the hallway. Open up through here. Then here we got to this little circuit right here, or whatever you want to call it. Turn on the elevator. And then we're gonna go all the way back to that elevator. Remember, it's gonna be the first elevator. Right here, it's gonna have its glowing green button. Call the elevator. It should take roughly around 10 to 20 seconds to arrive. Just make sure no AI PMCs are gonna come down over here. Just like that. From here, you're gonna want to go up to this little button dial. Just press it. Doors will close. And you can successfully extract. Now if you look here, this is our hall. 2 light X's, a whole bunch of stims, and some rare loot, and some additional things for our bunker. Now I'm going to take this HK, an MK-17, I'm going to take them to Peacekeeper. You can sell it to Skier or Mechanic as well. I'm first going to sell it to Peacekeeper for the USD, so whenever I need to buy 5.56 ammo, I have the USD to do so. I rather sell my gun to him. Just like that. That's how much we're getting for that. I mean, with these two are also included, but I also got these from a labs run, the exact route that we just did. So this is also a gun that can spawn in the armory. This I got off of AI PMC. You're not going to find this gun here in the armory or in residential. But you can find things like MCX spears, RDs, up 300 blackouts, and anything within that nature, as well as some G28s and RSASs. Go ahead and sell those. And last we got all of this stuff. Our Bitcoin too, which several Bitcoin can spawn in that room. My friend actually had pulled 3 Bitcoin out of that room, but most of it I've personally ever seen has been 2. Bitcoin's 3 here, selling for this much, almost $1 mil. Go ahead and sell that. And then now we have our 2 Lexus that we can sell, and all of this. As you can see, it's a very profitable run. Go try it for yourself. Remember, all you really truly need is going to be one of these presidential key cards, which spawn quite often in any of those spawns that I showed you. It's not going to spawn all the time, or I may be missing a spawn, which I'm still trying to learn the spawns completely, but roughly those are going to be most of the spawns. And it has a very high spawn rate, but if you don't have one and you need one, simply go to the flea market because they are super inexpensive. As you can see right here, roughly the same amount as a labs access card. Like I said, a couple other keycards you can bring if you wanted to are black keycard. You can also bring blue and green because those are also in the close area, and that will just add simply to your profit. And don't be scared to actually buy these keycards. As long as you have enough and you still have a little bit more to play around with, you're gonna make that money back most definitely. So hope you enjoyed the video. I want you to go ahead and go run this route. Please bring back your feedback. for it. Tell me how much money you made, because I promise you, you're gonna be making millions if you run this. You don't even need a super high kit loadout like this. So simply all I have is a Glock. You can run just a pistol, some light armor, small rig, and a backpack. That's really all you need. Just avoid your fights. As long if you don't need to fight, you shouldn't do it. Does keep us staying alive, getting to loot and getting out. Take the extract, and if you have a good one, please make sure to like and subscribe. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you make a whole bunch of rubles.